The year was 1872. December 5th dawned like any other day on the vast Atlantic. The DEI Gracia, a brigantine sailing under Captain David Morehouse, sliced through the waves. They were on a routine voyage from New York to Gibraltar. Little did they know, fate had a chilling encounter in store. As the sun climbed higher, a glint on the horizon caught the eye of a lookout. It appeared to be a ship, its sails askew, drifting aimlessly in the open sea.
Captain Morehouse, there's a ship out there. Looks like she's in trouble.
Captain Morehouse, intrigued and concerned, ordered his crew to steer closer. As they approached, a sense of unease settled over the DEI Gracia. The ship they were nearing was the Mary Celeste, a merchant brigantine. She was eerily silent. No crew could be seen on deck, no captain at the helm. The Mary Celeste, once a vessel full of life, now drifted like a phantom on the waves. It was an unsettling sight, one that would forever be etched in maritime history as a haunting mystery. Just a month earlier, the Mary Celeste had embarked on her own voyage. She left New York Harbor on November 7th, 1872, bound for Genoa, Italy. Her cargo was typical for the time, 1,701 barrels of commercial alcohol.
We set sail today, bound for Genoa. The weather looks favorable and the crew is in good spirits.
At the helm was Captain Benjamin Briggs, a seasoned mariner known for his skill and piety. He was accompanied by his wife, Sarah, their young daughter, Sophia, and a crew of 7 experienced seamen. The voyage began auspiciously enough.
I've been keeping a journal of our journey, sketching the sights and noting our progress. It's been a wonderful start.
Captain Briggs, a deeply religious man, held daily prayer services on deck. His wife, Sarah, an educated woman, kept a journal filled with observations and sketches of their journey.
The captain's prayers give us all a sense of peace. We're like a family here, working together.
The crew, a mix of seasoned hands and eager young men, went about their duties with a quiet confidence. The Mary Celeste, bathed in the warm autumn sun, seemed to glide effortlessly across the Atlantic. Hope and anticipation filled the air, promising a smooth and prosperous voyage. The first few weeks of the voyage unfolded without incident. The Mary Celeste, blessed with favorable winds, made good time across the Atlantic.
The seas have been kind to us, our progress is steady and the crew remains diligent.
Captain Briggs, a meticulous navigator, kept a detailed logbook. Entries spoke of calm seas, clear skies, and the routine rhythms of life aboard a merchant ship.
Our days are filled with learning and laughter. Sophia is thriving, and the crew has become like family to us.
Meals were shared, stories exchanged, and laughter echoed across the deck. Sarah Briggs, ever the devoted mother, homeschooled young Sophia in their small cabin. Life on board, though confined, was filled with a sense of adventure and camaraderie.
It's a good life out here. The ocean is vast, but we have each other.
The vastness of the ocean, often a source of fear and isolation, seemed to bind the souls aboard the Mary Celeste closer together. They were a small, self-contained world sailing towards a distant horizon. Section 4. The haunting discovery of the DI Gracia. As the DI Gracia drew alongside the Mary Celeste, the silence became deafening.
Captain Morehouse called out, but only the wind answered.
He sent a boarding party led by his first mate to investigate. The scene that greeted them was both baffling and terrifying.
The Mary Celeste was not a wreck.
Her hull was sound, her cargo intact.
But the ship was deserted. The boarding party found the ship's logbook. Its last entry dated 10 days prior. It spoke of nothing unusual.
The table was set for a meal, half-eaten food left to spoil.
Personal belongings remained untouched in cabins. The only sign of disorder was a missing lifeboat. Its davits still swung outward, suggesting it had been lowered in haste.
Where was the crew?
What had become of Captain Briggs, his family, and his men? Section 5. An eerie silence, a chilling mystery. The crew of the DEI Gracia searched high and low, but the Mary Celeste yielded no answers. The ship's chronometer, vital for navigation, was missing, as was the sextant.
Oddly, the ship's cargo of alcohol was untouched.
Piracy, it seemed, was not the motive.
The ship's papers, except for the logbook, were gone.
The only living creature found aboard was a cat, mewing plaintively in the silence. The Mary Celeste was a perfectly preserved enigma, a ghost ship frozen in time. The silence was deafening, broken only by the creaking of the ship and the lapping of waves against her hull. It was a silence that whispered of unseen horrors, of a terror so profound that it had driven the crew to abandon ship with only the clothes on their backs.
What had they seen?
What had they experienced that drove them to leave behind their possessions, their livelihoods, their very lives?